Welcome, everybody. I am so happy to be here with you today and to be talking about going from being confused to feeling confident using the ClearFlow Money System. I am passionate about all things money, and my mission is to open up the conversation around money in order to help as many people as possible feel comfortable and confident about their personal financial situations. My name is Christina Grove. I am a financial coach and the founder of Prosperity Grove, where I work with individuals, couples, and business owners and help them go from stress and overwhelm to opportunity and success through making, saving, spending, and investing their money. Do you ever feel like your money just slips through your fingers even when you might be making enough? You're not alone. Most people are not bad with money. They just don't have a system that works for their life. So today I'm going to show you the 4-step ClearFlow Money System to move from being confused to confident without restrictive budgeting and stress. So you'll see here that the FLOW is an acronym for finding clarity in your numbers, including income and expenses, living your priorities, which equates to building the life that you truly want, organizing your system so that it's working for you and not you working for it, and watching your money grow, which includes making adjustments as you go. So let's start with the first step of the ClearFlow Money System, which is finding clarity. This is where confidence really begins. So I'm going to go ahead and do a poll. If you can please select an answer. The question is, do you know how much discretionary income you actually have each month? Our answers are yes, kind of, and no. So we'll give that a couple more seconds and we're going to go ahead and end the poll. And it looks like our answer is 67% is no, we do not know how much discretionary income we have each month. So most people skip this step because they're afraid of what they're going to see. So clarity is not about judgment, it's about information, and that information gives you power. So finding clarity means that we're reviewing 3 simple things. First is your income. So not just what you hope to make, but what you made and not just what you made in your best month, but what is consistently coming in. So if you're a business owner, that might mean averaging out the last 3 to 6 months or even 12 months of your income. The second thing is your expenses. So we're going to be separating expenses into fixed expenses like your mortgage, rent, insurance, subscriptions, and your variable expenses like groceries, dining, gas, and shopping. And then third, and this is key, identifying your discretionary income. So that's the amount that is left over after your essential expenses are covered. This is your opportunity space. This is where intentional decisions happen. Sometimes people discover that they actually have more flexibility than they thought, and sometimes they discover that they're running a negative cash flow. Both are useful because when you don't know your numbers, everything feels really stressful, right? But when you can say, here's what's coming in, here's what's going out, here's what I actually have left to work with, your nervous system is able to relax. You can stop guessing, you can stop avoiding, and you can start deciding. This step isn't about cutting yet. It's not about restriction. It's simply about awareness, because you can't really direct your money with confidence if you don't know where you're directing it. So clarity first, always. Now, we have created clarity around your numbers. Now we're going to move into the most important step, and honestly, the most overlooked. Step 2 is living your priorities. So we're going to do another poll super quick. Let me go ahead and launch it for you. So this poll is asking, do you currently have savings buckets aligned with your priorities? So our answer choices are yes, kinda, or no. So go ahead and select which one of those is appropriate for you. And names are hidden, so nobody's going to see each other's answers. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end that. All right, so we have, again, 67% says no, you do not have savings buckets aligned for your priorities. Okay, because clarity without direction doesn't create change, this is where we ask the question, not what should I cut, not what does the internet say I should save, but what actually matters to me. So your money is a tool, and tools are meant to build something meaningful. So this step starts with identifying your core values. So maybe that's security or freedom. Maybe you're looking for flexibility, or you know, one of your core values is family, or maybe it's experiences and travel. Maybe one of your core values is like growth or generosity. When your spending doesn't reflect your values, you feel friction, you feel guilt, and it feels like your money is disappearing. But when your money aligns with your values, something powerful happens. You feel intentional, you feel calm, you feel in control. So, after identifying your top 3 to 5 priorities or values, we want to translate those into action. So, this means that you're setting clear savings goals based on what matters most to you. You are creating buckets for those goals. So, that would be like savings accounts. And this part is critical, deciding on your carefree spending amount. So let's talk about that for a minute. Most budgeting systems either restrict too much or they allow too much without structure. So ClearFlow does neither. You intentionally decide this is the amount that I can spend each month on myself, guilt-free. Okay, so there's no second guessing, there's no shame, you're not sabotaging your goals later, because when enjoyment is planned, it doesn't compete with security. Then we look back at your numbers from step one and we ask, does current spending reflect my priorities? If not, we're not going to panic. We're just going to adjust. And maybe that means that we're canceling subscriptions that don't add value to our life anymore. Maybe we're renegotiating insurance policies. Maybe we're reducing convenience spending. Or we're just simply reallocating money from one category to another. This is not about deprivation, it is about alignment. Because if you don't decide where your money should go, it's going to get absorbed in convenience, impulse, and lifestyle creep. So, living your priorities means that your money starts working for the life that you actually want and not just the life that is happening by default. And when your goals are funded and your fund money is defined and your spending reflects your values, confidence starts to build, not because you're restricting yourself, but because your money finally feels intentional. That's the shift. Clarity shows you what is possible, and alignment gives it direction. So, next, we're going to build the structure to support it. So, now that you have your numbers and you have aligned your money with your priorities, step 3 is where everything clicks. This is where we organize your system. So, I've got one more poll for you, and it is, let me go ahead and launch it. Okay, so do you currently automate any of your bills, savings, or investments? Our answers are yes, fully, 100%, somewhat, or not yet. So go ahead and put in your answer. Give it a couple more seconds. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. Okay, so this is pretty good. We've got about 75% are automating their bills, savings, and investments. So that is wonderful. So there might be some additional automation that you want to put into place after you create your priority buckets. Or for those of you who are not automating, we want to do that because it's going to make things easier for you. Because here's the truth. Clarity creates awareness. Alignment creates direction. but structure creates consistency. So most people try to manage money from one checking account, and that's where the confusion lies. So you're constantly asking yourself, like, is there enough money for bills? Can I spend this money? Did I already account for that subscription? Is this going to mess up my savings? Decision fatigue starts to set in. ClearFlow removes the mental load. So instead of one account doing everything, we create separate lanes for your money. So typically, this includes a primary checking account. This is where all of your income comes in and all of your fixed expenses and bills are paid out of. We then have a variable spending account. So this is just a separate checking account. And this is where we account for your variable spending. So things like groceries, gas, and your other flexible expenses. We also have a third checking account, and this is our carefree spending account. So this is a specific dollar amount that you designate is part of your discretionary income. It's for your entertainment, it's for your lifestyle, and it's guilt-free or carefree money. Next, we have an emergency savings account. So obviously, this is for your emergency savings. We want to separate this out from the rest of our bills and our variable spending. Once you have those established, you're also going to have your individual savings buckets based on your priorities. So, travel, holidays, home projects. If one of your goals, so for example, one of my core values is exploration. And so that is exploration internationally, and that's exploration locally. So I have a savings account that has a specific number, a specific dollar amount that goes in every couple of weeks to fund those explorations that I want to go on. Next, you want to have your investment accounts. So this is a traditional brokerage account, and then where you can invest in non-retirement investments, and then also a IRA, either traditional or Roth or both, depends on your situation, for long-term growth or future retirement. Now, your money has a job before it even arrives, okay? So we automate everything, automatic transfers, automatic bill pay, automatic investing, because automation removes willpower from the equation. So you're no longer relying on memory or motivation or just trying to be better. The system does the work for you. And something powerful happens when you organize your money this way. You stop guessing. You log into your accounts, you immediately know my bills are covered, my savings are growing, my spending is allowed, and my investing is happening. So that's when confidence starts to replace stress, because structure turns intention into action. So when the system supports your priorities automatically, you're no longer managing chaos. You're directing the flow of your money. And that brings us to the final step, which is making sure that things keep flowing and growing. So now we arrive to the final step of the ClearFlow Money System, and that is watching your money grow. So this is where confidence really becomes real, because once your system is set up and it's automated, something powerful really happens. You start to see the progress. Even if it's small at first, your emergency fund grows by, let's say, a few $100s, and then it gets to a few $1,000s. Your travel bucket, or whatever your core value priority is, that slowly starts to fill up. Your investments begin compounding quietly in the background, and that visibility builds belief. But this step isn't passive. Watching it grow doesn't mean ignoring it. It means that you're reviewing it intentionally. So like once a month, you check in. Is my income steady? Have my expenses changed? Are my savings buckets funded in a way that I want? Do I need to make any adjustments to my carefree spending amount? Did I give myself too much? Did I not give myself enough at all? Right? And then this is where we guard against something subtle but powerful, and that's lifestyle inflation. So when income increases through raises, better months in business, bonuses, or other financial windfalls, the natural instinct is to expand spending automatically. ClearFlow interrupts that pattern. So instead of asking, what can I upgrade? You might ask, where do I want this money to go before it arrives? So you decide in advance what percentage increases in investing, what percentage strengthens my emergency savings, what percentage supports my lifestyle upgrades. Growth becomes intentional, not accidental. And here's the important part: the system works even if you start small. So you don't need thousands of dollars a month to make it effective. You need clarity, alignment, structure, and consistency. And when those four things are in place, growth becomes predictable. And that's when you can move from confused to confident, because now your money isn't random, it's flowing with direction. So let's bring it all back together. The ClearFlow Money System is built around one simple, powerful framework, and that is flow. So F is finding clarity. This is where it starts. We look at your income, your expenses, your cash flow, so that we can really get clear on what's coming in, what's going out, and what you actually have to work with. Because you can't make confident decisions without clarity. L is living your priorities. So this is where your money starts to align with the life that you want. So we identify your core values, define your goals, create guilt-free spending plan so that you can enjoy your money while you're still making progress. O is organizing your system. So now we take everything and we put it into a structure. We set up separate accounts for bills, spending, and savings, and then we automate transfers so that your money flows where it's to without constant effort. Then W is watching it grow. So this is where the magic happens. You review your system regularly, adjust for life changes, and intentionally allocate raises or extra income so that your savings and investments continue to grow. And when these four areas work together, you move from confusion to clarity, from stress to structure, from guessing to confidence. That's what ClearFlow is all about. Okay, so as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this. Clarity with your money is possible. Structure is possible. Confidence is possible. You do not have to keep guessing, stressing, and feeling behind with your money. You just need a system and a way to implement it. So if you're thinking, great, this makes sense, but I need help putting it into action, I've got a few ways to support you. So first, you can explore free resources, worksheets, and tools at untanglingmoney.com to help you get started on your own. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn under the social media handle at the Money Flow Coach, where I share ongoing tips, education, and support. If you are ready for guidance and accountability, my 12-week group coaching program is starting on May 4th. Inside, we implement this exact ClearFlow Money System step by step with live coaching, support, and time to actually build your system. Or if you prefer something more personalized, you can book a call with me and we can talk through your situation and explore one-on-one coaching. Now, no matter what you choose, you do not have to leave here and do nothing. So take one step, because small, consistent steps are what creates real financial change. All right. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Again, I hope that you're taking at least one action step away from this call that you can implement in your finances. And if you are looking for support, don't forget you can connect with me on social media. You can book a one-on-one call, or you can visit untanglingmoney.com for additional resources. Thank you so much.